MTG-Profits. We are recording episode 22, I believe.
Yep, that's
And
it.
yeah, I'm Devin, and joined as always by my co-host Andy.
Hey, everybody.
We are just wanted to remind everybody, please, and to reiterate, we've got information up on the website at mtgprofits.com. And also, if YouTube is your jam, go ahead and check out the podcast there. I know that's sort of what I do with my when I do a lot of podcast listening on the computer. I'll just have it running in the background while I'm reading something else.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I've already got the computer on, so it's easy for me. But
And
so make
also
sure
check
you
out some of
check
our
out.
drafts. We're putting some of those up on there.
That's
Arena
right.
drafts. You can watch those on YouTube and see us battle it out in the decks.
Absolutely, absolutely. I noticed Andy likes to put all the games up there that he wins.
You know, well, just because I win so many. Oh! No, I try to put games out there that are interesting, like that last more than like 2 minutes and are not like some horrible mana screw or something like that.
True that.
So I want it to be at least a fun match that lasts over 2 minutes.
Exactly, exactly.
But I will post whether I win or not. Although those are always the best ones.
Glory. Excellent. So speaking of the arena, I assume you've been playing. I know I have
A
been.
little bit. As always, I'm always tempted by the little daily rewards and everything. And I did the sealed event through there for my free code, and that went pretty poorly.
Yeah,
I
me
got,
too. Me too.
I think I had one win total, and then the other two, the one match I got. I think one of the matches I guess got horribly mana screwed, and the other one I just got horribly beat down.
Yeah, I only won, I think, one game. Like I had one win, so I won the first two of three, but then I failed utterly after that.
Yeah. Yep, me too.
I will say, like, I was actually somewhat dissuaded from playing competitive draft quite simply because the games seem to take so freaking long with the best two of three. Like
Agreed.
I
Yeah.
don't know if my patience is waning or what, but like in real life, I do enjoy the two of three more than I don't think I'd like the sudden death style in real life. But man, digitally, I felt like, oh, I gotta play this deck again against the same dude. I'm like,
Yeah, absolutely.
and
I felt the
I don't know
same
about
way.
you,
It just
but
was
like
too long. It
it
just took too
was.
long to do.
And every damn game went to three games. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was gonna win the first two. I'd win the one, he'd win one, I'd win one. Then the next guy would win one, I'd win one, he'd win one. So it was like six games. And it was like it was only two rounds of eight. And I was
Yep.
like, holy cow, it took freaking forever.
It took a long time.
It sure felt it. I mean, basically those six games, I could have made it all the way up to almost winning a whole set of
Yeah.
the, I guess what do they call that? Not competitive, but I don't know what they call it. Standard draft? I don't know what the heck they call it. Like, um, I don't know, but I felt like the competitive draft style with the sideboarding and the two of three was cumbersome and too.
Yeah,
You,
absolutely.
and I don't know if you noticed this as well, but you have to set your sideboard while you draft.
Yeah, yep, yep,
That's
yep, you
freaking
do.
bullshit. Like,
Exactly.
instead of your card pool becoming your sideboard, you have to shove the sideboard cards into the sideboard while you're drafting it. I was like, what in the heck is this? I thought that was totally
Really,
stupid.
now that I think about it, was that the case? I thought you could just sideboard. You just picked when you got back to the sideboarding
It, it,
time.
it did not let me do that with my residual cards. Like, I don't know,
Really?
maybe I did something wrong,
I don't
but
remember having a specific selection of sideboard cards.
there was like a little thing that said sideboard in the bottom while I was drafting, and if I wanted cards to go into the sideboard, I had to draft them into the
Hmm.
sideboard.
I don't recall that. But
Mm. Well, so let me ask you this. So you were able to sideboard cards. Did you actually try to sideboard cards in and out?
I did go to the sideboard thing, and I recall seeing just my card pool, and then I could, from what I recall, I could switch in and out from my existing card pool.
Do you actually remember? Did you actually switch a card in and out?
I'm trying to remember if I did it or not. I think on one of the matches I did, but in general I did not, because I got to the point where I was like, well, I feel it's optimized as much as I can, and I don't really. I don't know. I
Like,
didn't have
forget
anything
it.
specific reasons to switching anything around. So
Yeah, see, for me, it seems like I could see all the cards I drafted, but I was unable to swap any out because they weren't in the special sideboard area.
yeah, that's
So
weird.
I must have done something wrong, maybe. That's why I was
I
wondering
don't know.
if you
I thought
actually
I
boarded
did. I
in or
thought I
out
made at least one change to it mid game.
mid-game. Okay.
Uh,
Maybe I did something wrong then. Like it showed me all the cards I drafted, but it wouldn't allow me to swap any out.
yeah.
So that was anyway. So I felt like I was like, man, I'm done with competitive drafting on Arena. It takes way too long. I
And
didn't care
especially
for
if
it.
you're paying the premium price of what was it, 1,500 gems?
1,500 gems. Yeah,
I don't know if that's going to continue like that. I would hope not, but
I think it is though because they give you way more packs. Your winnings are way more dramatically larger.
they are. The rewards were better,
Yeah,
but 1,500 gems is, I feel, kind of a lot.
I'd rather draft twice for 750
Exactly.
or
I'd rather just
5,000
draft
with
for
the
the
gold.
5,000. I
Exactly, the
mean,
gold
that's
is the
way better.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so far I've been slowly accruing more gems, but then I looked at it. I was like, holy cow! I've just been grinding out for my gold and then converting the gold into gems by winning the non-competitive drafts. And
Yeah.
I have like $30 worth of gems. I was like, whoa! I would never pay $30 for this.
Yeah. You got a
So
lot of gems.
I have like 9,000 gems or something.
Yeah.
I've
That's
been
pretty good.
slowly, but the drafts have been very good to me, generally speaking. I will make it probably to 5 or 6 wins, like
Yeah.
on a regular. So that gives me like 450 gems each time I draft, plus the cards that got,
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
so I do like the drafting.
I love that. Yeah, I definitely, I guess that's really probably one of my primary reasons for playing is just to be able to draft. To draft and then just play one-on-one with friends is really,
Yeah, it's really nice. I do like it.
we really need to get that friends list up.
My
I think,
God, yes.
I
So that
mean,
you'll
then we
know
could,
when people are online, for God's sake. Let people know when your friends are
exactly,
online. What the hell?
exactly. That's probably, gosh, gotta be,
Got to get this early 90s technology going.
exactly. Come on now.
1994,
Jeez. That's been around forever. All the games do that.
you know.
Whatever. I mean, it's still, can only complain so much with it being for free. So
Exactly.
eventually,
That is true. I still haven't paid any money other than that very original 4.99 like
no.
ultra newbie pack or whatever they give you. I did pay for that, but since that time I have not.
I don't know if you've had this happen yet, but I did see it in action where apparently I did get a fifth card of a rare, and it did do an auto convert to gems for me.
Oh, I have not done that yet. I have not
Yeah.
experienced
It
it.
didn't give me many gems. It was
It's
only
like 20.
20, I
Yeah,
think.
it's like a pathetically low amount of gems.
But I guess it did happen.
Yeah, I guess it's better than the nebulous cave or whatever they were throwing your cards into. I forget.
Yeah, the vault or
The
whatever.
vault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're
Yeah.
like, what do I get for vault stuff? And it wasn't written down anywhere in any
Uh,
way that you could figure out what you
it
were
just
getting.
goes into the vault and that's it. We'll figure it out later.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny. But I know also earlier this week you were able to pull the trigger and ordered us the box of the Mythic Timmy edition, the
Yeah,
Ravnica
I
Allegiance.
was I was online in front of the computer at
Dude, I
well
was impressed. I was
I was
impressed how
well
quick
I
you got
happened
that.
to if I remember right I was working from home that day and that was that last Thursday the 24th they announced they would release it at 3 o'clock p.m. Well, this is going to be Eastern time.
The
So
only time that matters.
exactly it's, the number one time zone. But so I was in front of the computer working, and I was laying in wait and watching a refresh at the Hasbro store,
Stalking that stuff.
and even typing in Ravnica Allegiance, Wizards of the Coast, anything came up with 0 results. So they didn't have anything else in the store. And then it was actually probably at 3:01 that it actually showed up. And no problems, no issues with the purchase or
that's great.
transaction issues or loading or anything like that. I got my receipt. Got the whole order done and everything. Got my receipt for that. And I mean, it actually shipped, and I received that. I sent you the picture of it. What was that? The 26th?
And
It was the 26th, I think.
It was like 2 days after you ordered it. It was in your
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly where it was shipping from, but it certainly got here right away.
It was like shipped from your next door neighbor's house.
It seems like it. Yeah, it was sent instantly. So, and it looked like for that first initial release, it was about, I think you had the number exactly. It was like 9,000.
Yeah, it was 98.50 until they pulled that listing down.
Yeah.
So they sold it, their first 10,000. The as we were discussing before, we may unfortunately have to wait a little bit longer for this price or for the price of this box to climb a little bit. They are now several days out. We are now 5 days out, and Wizards is still selling them on eBay. They have not sold their stock yet, and they keep pulling the listings down once they reach 10,000. So they've sold now at least 20,000 of these things, which is twice the amount of the original. The original Mythic edition was 10,000 units. So this one they've sold 20,000 units, and now the sales per hour have crawled to 1 box per every, like, I think we're between 5 and 7 minutes. But the problem is all the demand has now dried up. So now the demand is gone, yet boxes remain at MSRP. So it's a very unfortunate situation for those of us that have bought boxes in hopes of flipping, because we unfortunately won't be able to follow the same trajectory that they did the first time around, where they produced fewer boxes, sold out quickly, and
unfortunately they learned from their lesson.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, you know what, we're gonna print way more of these and sell them on eBay, so that so that we don't have to manage our own suck-ass website. So
exactly. I mean, so aren't you glad you didn't buy 2 boxes?
Yeah, at this rate, the answer to that is a definite yes. Because I actually thought about that. I was giving it some serious consideration. I was like, well, I was like, it's almost foolish not to buy the maximum allocation, because the first time around, the allocation was gobbled up, and they instantly were selling for higher. But this time, that it's like Wizards does this kind of thing all the time. They come up with something good, and then they freaking ruin it. It's like they're like, hey, we sold 10,000 boxes direct to the public. Let's make 30,000 instead.
Yeah.
And do it 3 times bigger. So instead of doing the same thing that worked, they keep pounding whatever it is that works until they grind it to dust. It's like they used to have great, what were those from the vaults, all those from the vault. People love that stuff until they started, just pounding them into the dirt with crappy stuff, and then they eventually quit doing it. They do the same thing with like every product. They're like, oh, people used to love core editions, but now people don't, so we're not going to make them anymore. We've made too many of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, people used to like the dual decks, but we made too many of them, and now people hate them, so now we're not going to make them anymore. It's like they'll find something that works, sell it into the ground, destroy it as a product, and then try to move on to make new products. Masters editions. Everybody loved the Masters, the ultimate, not the ultimate, but the, modern Masters, 2015, 2017, good value in those things, until they start freaking dumping iconic Masters and Masters 25 onto us, because they just printed all that stuff into the ground, destroyed the value, and then they say, oh, guess what?
Yeah.
No more Masters boxes, no more reprint boxes. They shut that down with Ultimate Masters, and it's just so annoying. They'll find something that works a little bit, blow the doors wide open, and then destroy it as a product, and then abandon it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like they just, I don't know, they can't figure out their pricing strategies, or, are they selling to make up volume and get money? Are they selling for collectors for, or what? Just
Yeah. It's really, I don't know what to say, but they just seem to, they latch onto something that works and then they drive it into the ground.
yeah.
Instead of trying to continue doing what works, they try to go bigger. And then in the process, they mess up the things that people like.
Yeah, yeah, you just I don't know. Yeah. Just don't do it. Just
Yeah,
make a decent release initially and don't try to mess with it after the fact.
exactly. You know,
Let me well, I guess coming back to the box and everything, like I think those still, like you mentioned earlier, I think we would still be able to recoup the initial
yeah,
cost of the box
yeah. I
to
do
get
think they
a
will hold their value, but I don't think they will increase in value at nearly the rapid pace that the originals did.
exactly. I think it might still definitely increase in
It'll
value, but
creep
it
up.
might
Yeah.
be a little while before
Instead
we
of yeah,
get to
instead
a
of being like
decent.
3 months like we had hoped, it may be a solid year and 3 months,
Yeah, exactly.
and before we're making the coin on that.
The one other thing that I was just looking at, it was kind of seems, I don't know, maybe plays in a little bit, was let me ask you a silly question. On eBay, if I wanted to find the Hasbro store, how would I find
They call it Hasbro Toy Shop, so you just type
it?
Hasbro. Yeah.
See, now if I type a Hasbro into eBay, it does not come up. Let me see. It doesn't come up with. It just comes up with listings for Hasbro toys.
Oh, you know what? Type in Hasbro Toy Shop.
All right, toy shop comes up with same thing. I get the first listing is the littlest pet shop mixed lot, 10 pieces of survived random pet figures authentic.
Oh, you're right. Look at that.
I
Oh,
guess my
that's
point
weird.
is I don't see an easy way to get to the Hasbro shop unless you really know what to look for. You can
I
get there
see.
from navigating from products to like the seller's store,
I see what you're saying.
but I actually don't see an easy
Let's
way to
see.
do it unless you really know what you're looking for.
I think if you just type in, let's see, Ravnica Allegiance Mythic Edition. Let me try that. That should. And then new. Yeah, the top listing. And boom, Hasbro Toy Shop. There it is. So if you type Ravnica Allegiance Mythic Edition
Yeah.
new, then it flips right up. And
Let
their
me
current listing has 1914 sold. And they've gotten smart. They no longer list the quantity available. It just says limited quantity available. They're like, we don't want to see people to see how many of these we have.
Okay, yeah, I see it too. Yep. But it just seems weird. It's kind of so hard to get to the store. Like you had to put in that exactly. You couldn't say Hasbro Toy Shop and get to the shop.
I'm surprised at that, to be honest.
I mean that seems kind of weird to me. Hasbro Toy Shop does not come up with that.
Yeah.
Which is
Uh,
as an aside, as I was looking through there, it's funny what does come up when you put some of these things in and what people are selling out there on their auctions. For example, looking at Hasbro toys, you think, oh well, it's going to be some toys or old collectibles or something like that, and to most part it is, but some of the stuff is just so weird. Like I saw a bunch of like boxes, empty toy boxes from old Transformers. And it wasn't even the box that the Transformer came in. It was the box at the promo box or whatever at the store that the toys were held in.
oh my goodness.
And that was like $20.
It's so funny. That is a strange thing.
I mean, I don't. I mean, it's not really have any markings or anything like that on there.
It's shocking that people would buy boxes like this. Like, who buys this stuff? You know?
I mean, I guess somebody,
You know?
maybe. I don't know.
It's funny. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I build computers out of parts typically, and I have now these boxes. I have these NVIDIA GeForce video cards, and I have a couple of these what are called 1060s. And
Yeah.
apparently, I could sell the box for $20. People want to buy
Jesus.
the box, and I'm like tempted to do it. I'm like, I'll sell this shit for $20. I have no use for it.
Yeah.
And but you know what the funny thing about it is? I can't fold the box. Like it doesn't fold flat. If I could fold it flat, I would
Yeah.
sell the stupid box. But like I'd have to get a box that's bigger than this box to put that box in
Hmm.
because they're buying a box, so they want it intact and in wonderful
Sure.
condition, you know? So, and I'm sitting here thinking, who wants to buy a box? Is someone trying to resell a product and label it and make it look like it's something that it's not?
I I don't know.
Such an odd, excuse me, such an odd thing. I don't
It
know.
is really, really weird. So yeah, like what I was saying. So this particular auction was the Optimus Prime box bottom store display 1985 Transformers Action Trading Cards G1. So it was just the box. It was just the box bottom.
It's the box that
And
holds the boxes
that's
of
actually
Optimus Prime
roughed up
toys.
in it. It has tears and
My
some
God.
graphics on it.
You know what's
It's
amazing
going
is
for
that
$20.
it's amazing that someone saved it.
Yeah,
Like, who would save that? Like,
I don't know.
it's
And
crazy.
they're like, I should probably save this
I
box.
should
It's
save
gonna
this
be worth
box.
$20.
The box that holds other boxes of toys.
Like, wow. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I guess save everything. Maybe someone will want it someday, even if it's just like
Trash for the.
trash.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
I mean, he was even selling the same guy, but I mean, he was just selling all the little parts. So it was like, I don't know, Computron's left fist, G1,
Although I will say some of those fists are hard to find.
$15. It was every little bit. Here's a silly one too. Star Wars Atok Turbo Tank left side back door hatch part only. Hasbro 2008.
Oh my
$10. It's just
gosh.
the door. It's just a little plastic door.
Wow. I guess if you need that door
That's pretty specific.
to complete your
But
collection,
it's only in good condition. It's not even like perfect condition.
well, I guess because it's been ripped off. The door's
Yeah,
already been
I
ripped
guess
off
the
the
door
other
has been
part.
moved.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh goodness.
But so I guess that covers some of our newsy items.
Yeah, so wait and see with the Ravnica Allegiance Mythic. I
Yeah,
mean, I think it's still an okay buy, but just
yeah.
don't, I guess, expect that
It's
it's
gonna take a little more time, that's
double.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna take a little more time. So
Yeah.
so we'll just have to sit on that box and look at it on the shelf every once in a while.
Yes. Sit on it like a little egg on the shelf and sit warm
Exactly.
until it's ready.
It's ready to hatch. Yep.
Absolutely.
I was thinking about that too because I do have some of these other boxes of like Masters editions and things like that, and I was thinking maybe something like that might not be bad to bust out during Cardzilla. If we do
Yeah.
like a card game weekend, I was like
Yeah.
something a little more epic than just a standard booster box.
Sure.
It's like that
Sure.
might be something cool to do sometime. So
That'd be fun.
there's always some potential. A sealed product like that always has some potential for such an activity. So
Yeah.
you know, so I always have use.
Absolutely. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. So now I know we've played some of the Ravnica Allegiance online. I know I've played some and seen some of the new cards, and
Yep.
some of them seem fun, and some
There's
of them
some fun
seem good.
stuff. Everything's been spoiled. Everyone's been playing and brewing, and it's
Yeah,
in full swing now. It's only been what, 2 weeks, I
yeah,
guess.
yep,
Coming up on 2 weeks.
yeah. It's been pretty
So
good.
yeah, so pretty good. I mean, as we mentioned before, the time to sell your stuff was, before it was
Oh
really
yeah,
released, as always.
prices be
Uh,
tanking.
Places be tanking.
Yeah.
So, although I will say, there are some exceptions to that. The one that comes to mind is that one, the what's it called? The hydrocorosis.
Oh my gosh, that like
Um,
the crab jellyfish octopus or whatever. Was that the one? The
yeah,
crisis
the
or
hydroid crisis. Crassus.
yeah, yeah.
He has the Jellyfish Hydra Beast. He
Jellyfish
has
Hydra Beast. Okay.
jumped up to $35 or so. So if you have any of those, that's good news for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything else has been pretty much the same. A couple little, mostly decreases, I would say overall.
Oh heck yeah, that's
Everything
always the
has
way. Yeah.
dropped down. God, if you were really all about that Haunt of Hightower, the buy a box promo, I hope you sold it quickly
Oh
because
yeah, I saw
that
that.
boy went from he was I think in the 30s originally.
I think he's like
Now
five and a
he's
quarter.
yeah.
He got destroyed in value.
He has sank to the earth.
Yeah, he has plummeted from the sky. Arcane Comet.
Yeah, absolutely. The Shivan Meteor, he
Yeah.
has come down hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's done for.
Yeah, I saw that.
The
What are
ooze is
your
still doing good.
the what is? I'm sorry.
The ooze, the biogenic ooze,
Oh
he's
yeah. Yeah.
doing pretty good. I'm, the other ones, everything else is kind of holding about the same or less.
Yeah, give it time. As these things get drafted and the boxes get opened, they'll be dropping like they'll be dropping.
They're still gonna drop. Yeah,
Yeah, it's still a
absolutely.
little bit early, so this is not the time to buy these cards. So,
Yeah,
although I will say I do have some cards on my radar for purchase, not probably actually soon, not quite yet, but and I know you probably do too. Do you have
I
a
do. I
wish
have a
list?
bunch on my radar, and I did pull the trigger and get a couple of them.
Did you?
I
Wow.
did just because I always feel sometimes with some of the stuff, there's that time, the kind of mystery time right around now where, in general, things are going to go down, but there's going to be a couple rare exceptions that are going to go up. And
True.
if you can figure out what those exceptions are early, you can, save yourself a little bit of money later and potentially make a little bit of profit.
Boy, that is a tough gamble right
It's a
there.
tough one, but the other trick is too, those ones that I'm aiming for are hopefully kind of low ball ones to begin with.
I see.
So
So these
I'm
aren't like
not gonna.
$8 cards.
No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna
Okay.
spend any $8. Although I do kind of, my eye is half on the new Planeswalker, the Dovin there, but
I think give it time. I think he'll drop too.
I think he probably,
He's
but
not powerful enough, his ability, I don't think. But
no, but I think people are coming around to him that he's probably the best of the three that I think they're the new ones. Two,
maybe.
three.
I don't know. That Domri Raid one seems pretty banging.
I like him better personally, but
Yeah, that Domri Raid is great. I played against it a couple of times and thought, ooh, this guy's hurting me. He's a problem.
absolutely.
Do you have well, you know what? My cards, the cards that I like the most in this set are also ones that are kind of on my radar as potential purchases.
Sure.
And I don't have too many. Like I am not very excited about most of these cards, but there are some, one in particular that I'm very excited about, and it does something special that I think is going to give it legs long term, short term and long term.
Okay.
And
What's your first pick here?
so my first pick and my highest confidence pick, and a card that I will be trying to purchase when it hits $4, which I hope it does reach that low. Um, it's a rare. Let me see. It's a rare red card. I wonder if we're gonna have
Okay.
any overlap, but it's currently going for $6, and this card is fantastic.
I'm,
It's Electro Dominance.
I was just gonna say it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good, so good.
So good.
It's two red and X, and it does X damage to any target. And this is the beauty part. It's instant speed,
Yeah.
and it gives you may cast a card with X converted mana cost from your hand without paying its cost, which is freaking awesome. And part of the reason I think this card is a little bit underappreciated is because it allows you to cast non-instant speed things at instant speed, not on your turn.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anytime you see these funny things that warp the typical game style, like alternative casting costs, things of that
Yep.
nature, they tend to hold their value better. And I mean, for the sake of argument, you can drop a creature before your turn and effectively give it haste. you
Yeah,
know, and there's a lot of little shenanigans, things that are sorcery speed that are typically too powerful to be at instant speed.
sure.
This thing gives them that ability,
Yeah,
and not
that's
only
a
that,
good
it does
point.
damage too.
Yeah,
So currently $6. I will back the truck up when it hits four. I
I
will.
think
I will probably.
4. Yeah, I wouldn't see this going lower than 4, really.
I think at $4 I will be a buyer of this card, and I probably mean a couple of play sets. I'm pretty confident on this pick. So
I hear you. I think that's a great card.
yeah,
Amazing red spell.
I think
Amazing.
it's got potential in multiple formats too. I mean, I could see this in modern. I can see that yeah, it's a great card, and I love being able to cast things not at instant speed. So,
Yeah,
or I mean, non-instant speed cards
yeah,
at
yeah.
instant speed. Yeah.
No, that's a
So
good one.
that's my number one pick. I
Hmm.
love that card. I've been playing with it too. It's freaking awesome.
Uh,
So I like that a lot.
nice, nice.
So what have you got? Have you got a
I've got
pick?
a bunch on my list, and some of these I picked up. This one I actually did pick up already. Um, this is I think this is just a solid card, and it has a slightly unique ability, which I think can propel it onward. I wouldn't think huge money, but I think it's actually already gone up a little bit. It's the Sphinx of Foresight.
Mm.
He's a rare card. He is a 4/4 flyer for 4, which is good. But the little nice thing for him is you may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, scry 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep.
That's kind of neat. Yeah.
So it's got a little bonus to him if you get him right.
Four
And
four for
right
four
away.
is not bad either.
4/4 flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
So
I'm seeing this for the first time. I haven't really paid much attention to this guy.
he's
He's
pretty
definitely flown under
solid.
my radar. Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
bad.
I think he's a solid all-around flyer. If you get him in your opening hand, he gives you a bonus. He gives you a
Yeah,
scry, and he's a reasonable body and a reasonable price.
he really is.
Four,
It's
four,
not
four.
bad.
Pretty.
That has gotten like sealed awesomeness written all over it. I'd love to pull that in a sealed pool. I
Mhm.
mean, 4/4 flyer for 4 with extra bonus. Oh, that's some juicy stuff.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
good. Really
yeah,
good.
not bad. Not
Yeah,
bad at all.
yeah. I think he's pretty solid, and you can get him now for about 85 cents or so.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 85 cents. Yeah,
So less than $1. I think he's definitely going to go up. Um,
looks pretty good.
I think he's pretty solid. Blue flyer. I saw a couple of those when I played in the pre event, the pre release.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, some people were dropping
Probably
them.
everybody else dropping them all over your face.
Fortunately, I did. I don't think I got. I think it showed up like once against me.
Okay.
So I didn't
I
get
got
terribly wrecked by him.
four
But
four flyer and sealed is really a hassle. Like that pretty much ends you pretty quick.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that was one of the picks I got.
That's a pretty nice one. I like how he's not too expensive right off the bat.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. One of mine, my second pick is also in the similar vein. He's not too terribly expensive, and it's a card that has I think a relatively high amount of utility as well. I'm looking seeing if I can find his price right now. But this is a 2 mana white card. It's a rare, and it fits really well into the Hate Bears style of deck. And
Oh, okay. Yep,
it's
I
the
think I
it's
can.
the Tithe Taker.
Yeah, I like the Tide
Yeah,
Taker.
he's not bad. He's a 2 mana for a 2/1, and during your turn, your opponents have to pay one extra to
Mhm.
cast any spell, and they have to pay one more to activate abilities unless they're mana abilities.
Yep.
And this bullet's got afterlife on him, so he'll spawn a 1/1 flyer when
Yeah.
he dies. Just,
Yep.
just great. I mean, he's got value written all over him, and like I said, he fits nicely in a Hate Bears deck.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about him for mine. I was like,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's not bad at all. I like everything he's got going for him. So he's just got value written all over him.
Yeah, really
So
good. Really
yeah.
good.
And that one's relatively cheap. It's less than $2. I think it's about $1.70 is what I think is his going rate.
Yeah, that
So
sounds about right.
yeah. I'm not as excited to scarf him up as much. However, at below $2, I feel that's a buy, and so $2 for him and $4 for the Electro Dominant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, those are my two sort of the two cards that I
High
want
confidence.
to own. Exactly. Yeah, those are the ones I want to own to sell later,
Okay.
and potentially use honestly as well.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
but I know you've got some more too.
Oh,
I
I got
think
a
you've
whole
got a
bunch
few.
here because I got a long list of cards, but I won't bore you, everyone here with those. But
Give us a couple though,
I'll give you a
maybe.
couple,
Yeah.
two more here coming up. This one, a lot of people, you know, I guess I've seen mixed reviews on this. Like there was an initial, a lot of people really liked it, and then some people were hating on it. They didn't think it was really could provide the value, and they calculated out the numbers on this. I think it's still a somewhat unique card. I can't really feel that we've seen a card like this, at least as an enchantment. We've seen it as creatures, but not as an enchantment. And this is the Wilderness Reclamation. It's
Mm,
a green enchantment. It's three colorless, one green, and it says at the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control.
yeah, I like that. Yeah,
So it gives you all your lands back. You can do whatever else with them. So it
yeah.
frees you again, frees that up. We've seen things like Seaborn Muse and other things that
Yep.
untap your lands. But I don't think we've ever seen something quite like that for an enchantment
And
for
it's
green.
harder to get rid of as the enchantment too, so it's
Yeah.
kind of a nice bonus.
So it seemed like just kind of an interesting card.
I like it.
And
Yep, I
then you
like it.
can use that for surprises and tricks and whatever.
Yep,
So I
absolutely.
think that has some unique aspect to it. Um, right now it's going for about 92 cents.
Oh wow, that's
So
great.
pretty reasonable, I
I
think.
think
I think it's
so.
a pretty good card. It's got some potential, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
kind of thinking about for that.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that ability. Now, is that during each upkeep it untaps or just during each one?
Only yours.
I see. Okay.
So it is a little bit more limited. It says at the beginning of your
Your
end
end step.
step, untap
Okay.
all lands.
I gotcha. Okay. Because I was gonna
So it's
say I
not as
can't
good as
imagine.
everybody's, which would be amazing.
Yeah, I was wondering about how that would work in a multi.
Yeah, but I guess if you figure you're gonna play more, if you're just dueling, and then
Still
it's maybe
good.
not as limited.
Yeah,
It's
still
still,
good.
you're only missing out once, so
Absolutely. Oh, very good.
yeah, not too bad. Do you
You
have
have
any?
a
Do you have a bonus one? Do you have a
I really don't. I'm waiting on the planeswalkers. Like I feel like I don't quite have a grasp on that yet. I feel like somehow there's going to be a deal to be had there, but I think at this current rate, I can't really recommend any of them.
Yeah.
I like that Domri. I like the Dovin Bond. I do like them, but I don't like them at near $10.
No, I think they're a little too high right now.
Yeah, but I do feel that both of them do kind of what we want them to do in their colors.
Yep.
And more so than some of the other more recent planeswalkers, it seems like they fit well in their little archetypes. So I'm not quite sure. That'll probably be something that I'll be keeping an eye on. I can't recommend them at this time, but I am watching. So that may be to come.
Nice. Well, I'll give you one more here, although I'll say the rest for next time, I guess. And one note I wanted to put out just overall, and for this set, I've felt it more predominantly, I guess, more pronounced.
Hmm.
Just the overall cost of uncommons. There used to be a time, uncommons were 25 cents or less,
Yes.
pretty much for everything. Now we're looking at uncommons into the several dollars for an uncommon.
Yeah, I think that's somewhat surprising. I don't know if that's gonna last, but
I mean, as we just talked about, the wilderness reclamation is still about $1, and which seems like a real lot for just an uncommon.
it does, it does. Especially for an in-print uncommon.
Yeah,
This is not like 8 years old, you know.
absolutely.
These are not Inquisition of Kozilek uncommon level here.
No,
Yeah.
no. So I don't know why there's such a huge hike in the prices on these uncommons.
It seems strange. Like, it seems to me that prices for single cards seem to be creeping up over the past, I would say,
Absolutely.
over the past couple of years, I would say. I remember being able to like fully construct a pretty competent deck for like $12.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I can't do it for less than 20.
I think 20 is a minimum. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oof, like it's definitely there's definitely been some price inflation on the cards singles market. And I don't know why. I don't know the reason for that. But it definitely seems to be accurate, as far as I can tell. So I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
everything
problem is.
seems to be creeping up. And we're seeing this not, you think, okay, uncommons, maybe. We're seeing this even at the common level, like
Yeah.
things creeping up.
Yeah, there's a couple of 85-cent commons and stuff, and you're like, whoa.
Exactly. So that you're like, what? Why is that?
Yeah. I'm not
It's
exactly
very
sure the
shocking.
reason for that. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I guess,
maybe
they're being
Pauper or
played
something.
in
I don't know.
decks and Pauper becoming a more legitimate format now, and I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say because there should be a billion little commons running
You would
around.
think so. You'd think sheer
Yeah.
volume would just drive those to nothing. But
You would. You really would.
apparently not.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
is your next pick an uncommon? Is
No, my next pick is a rare, and it's actually cheaper than the Wilderness
this will be
Reclamation.
uncommon?
I feel this one though, this is a card that will win you the game. And the people I
Ah.
played against who had this card, it did win them the game. And this card, I think maybe this would be great in Commander. I could definitely see it there. But really, I could see this being played in a lot of different formats. But this is a split card. I'm not a huge fan of those, but this is pretty powerful. It's the Revival slash Revenge.
Yeah, I think this is the best one. This is the best of the split cards.
Absolutely. It's a
Yeah,
rare, it's a sorcery. The
it's great.
revival lets you it's and they're all the revival part is split as hybrid mana, white, two whites or two blacks, and it's return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Pretty good for just two.
It's a really good. I really like it a lot.
That's a great deal if you have
Right to the
well,
battlefield.
yeah,
Freaking awesome.
like you said, that Tithe Taker, boom, he's
Yep,
back.
exactly.
Whoever else, it doesn't matter.
Really juicy. Really very low cost for such a good ability. There are a lot of
Good.
3 mana casting cost creatures that have high value.
Absolutely, that's great.
It's great.
But
Totally
then
agree.
the second part to that, four colorless, one white, one black. It's a sorcery. Double your life total. Okay, that is awesome. So hopefully you're gonna play
Awesome.
that early in the game, or when you're at a high point. And then not only double your life total, target opponent loses half their life, rounded up.
Bam.
I mean,
This card
that's
is
a
great.
huge swing.
It is. It's
You're
so good.
doubling their halving.
Yeah, this is an awesome card. This is an awesome card. This is probably the best the card the best. This is probably the split card that I'm most excited about forever. Like
I mean,
it's like I don't play split cards often. I hate their
I don't like
style.
it. I don't like it at
Like I
all.
hate cramming 2 cards onto 1 card. I feel it's crappy design,
I don't like it.
you
Yep.
know. But
Design of it.
um but man, this one is a good one. This one is probably the best one. The one that I would most play in my actual decks. So,
Absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
wow.
Just,
I
just
mean,
yep. It's
you can
just
use the
good.
first one early and use the or use the other one or use it late.
Exactly. Exactly. I really I can't agree with you more. This is a fun card. And I think it's going for like 64 cents. Like, wow, it's so good.
Yeah, you
It's like,
think, wow,
yeah, it's amazing. That's a good price right
this
there.
is this is gonna win you games. It's
Yeah.
gonna
This is gonna crush some nuts.
it is when someone sees your life
Double
go
up.
up to like 30 and theirs down to 7.
Yeah. That's a
You know.
demoralizing hit right there.
Exactly. It's wow. It's
It is.
great. It's a great card.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that was a good early
Yeah.
shot at our picks here.
So we'll definitely continue into more depth here with Ravnica Allegiance, and I'm sure there's going to be more news as
We'll have,
it gets
yep, it's been a
out in all the tournaments and the meta
news
and all
cycle.
that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So there's certainly more we're going to see about that.
Looking forward to more games. Andy and I'll be playing some more arena,
Yep,
so you
we'll
guys
be
can
back on the arena.
check those games out.
Check it
Absolutely,
out.
excellent.
Always fun.